Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and today we are going to do a tutorial on how I achieve images like this. So what did y'all think? Today we're talking about panoramic images, and this technique is as old as time. Well, all kidding aside, this technique is not new, and I'm surprised a lot of photographers don't use it, and I think it's because they're intimidated by the proper way of doing things. And what I mean by that is the proper way requires a tripod and time. Well, I don't use a tripod, I do it quick and dirty, and it works. So, I'm going to show you how I achieve some of these panoramas today using my Leica Q343 and my Leica MP on my recent trip to Italy. And yes, this technique works with both film and digital. I actually happened to take my Ray-Ban Meta glasses with me and recorded myself doing this technique multiple times. So I'm going to show you what that looked like, and I'm going to walk you through some of these important steps. First and foremost, you want to make sure your camera is set to manual because you want to make sure your settings are the same for these images. Second, you want to make sure you lock your focusing point. So find what you want to focus on, find what you really want to have centered or in focus in the frame, and lock your focusing point. From there, you want to make sure you have overlap in your images. So as you're taking multiple images, you want to make sure there's overlap in all of them so your photo editing software knows where to stitch the photos. And lastly, you want to make sure you have a steady hand. Ideally, you keep kind of your composition the same as you take multiple photos, and your end result will come out smoother and won't have kind of wonky crops. Other than that, one tip, I like keeping my panoramas at 2 or 3 images. I find that once you go either wider or taller, you kind of introduce more complexity and you introduce a higher chance of not getting the shot. Outside of that, it's that simple. So as you saw kind of with my Ray-Ban Meta glasses, I literally just go 1, 2, 3, and I'm done. And I kind of do the next steps in post. And with that said, I'll cut to Lightroom to show you how I do it in post and show you how easy this truly is. Jumping into Lightroom, here we have a panorama composed of 4 images, and you can see here image 1, image 2, image 3, and image 4. Now, I like applying my preset and matching the white balances from the very beginning. You don't have to do that. I would recommend at least matching your white balance, but all these photos do have my preset applied, and you're going to see how easy this is. So I'm going to select all 4 images. I'm going to right click into the photos. I'm going to go to photo merge and go to panorama. And you can see here, I automatically get a preview. Now that was accelerated because I've had that pre-cached. Usually it takes about 5 to 10 seconds, or it could take longer depending on the number of images. And we have a beautiful panorama. It's that simple. You have additional options here on the right-hand side. I really don't mess with them too much, and I'll show you why. So I do have the auto crop checked, and the reason why is, if I uncheck it, you can see that as I was taking this photo, because I wasn't using a tripod and I wasn't doing this the proper way, I was kind of doing it the lazy way, I got more of the image on the right-hand side than the left-hand side. Ideally, you want to stay in a straight line, so you also avoid distortion, but you don't have to. By just selecting the auto crop, you fix those issues and you're good to go. Another option you have is fill edges, and this will use Adobe's algorithm to fill kind of the empty spaces. It's not using AI yet, so it's not very good. So if I select fill edges, you're going to see that Adobe adds flagpoles into the ocean, adds waves into the ocean. It's just not good. So I avoid also doing that. Let me go ahead and remove that. And then the third option you have is boundary warp. And essentially what that does is it just warps your image to fit, but you can add distortion by doing this. So the easiest thing to do is auto crop, or use a tripod and be more precise with your panorama. But this is not that tutorial. This is how to do it quick quick and easy while you're traveling. And you can see here that the final result is just stunning. Let me show you another example, and it's this beautiful panorama. And this one is composed of 2 images. And as a matter of fact, on this one, I didn't match my exposures correctly. So the image on the right-hand side was at ISO 1000, and the image on the left-hand side was at ISO 400, and it still worked. So let me show you. Guys, I am just being sloppy and breaking all the rules, but I use this technique so much, and it just yields beautiful results. You can see here, just like that, you have this beautiful panorama. And even though my ISOs did not match, Lightroom did a great job at stitching them together and matching the exposures. And you can see that the final result here is a stunner. Another example, and again, I promise I'm not trying to be lazy here or sloppy, but this one actually was taken on a ferry, which means the boat was moving. And here's the final result. You can see is a gorgeous panorama, and it's composed of image 1 and image 2. And when we merge these, you're going to see that even with some movement from the ferry, we still get a beautiful result. If I remove the auto crop function, you're going to see how on the left-hand side, I clearly capture more in the top, and the right-hand side, I capture more in the bottom, but it's fixable, and the end result is beautiful. So one more, and this one I honestly did not think was going to work. Let me show you this one. So this one, just because of the nature of the building, and again, I did a terrible, terrible job with this one, because you can see that the main photo here is kind of captured dead on center, but then I did move a little too much to the left-hand side, so the perspective kind of drastically changes, and I did it again on the right-hand side. So the perspectives are just 3 different perspectives, but I did have enough overlap, and the final result, got a photo merge, panorama, it works. So here you can see, if I remove the auto crop, how bad of a job I did, but by cropping in and by straightening out the lines, here is the final result. And another thing to point out here, we have several people walking, and even with this method, there is no weird stitching or artifacts. It just works. Lightroom knows how to do this properly, and the final result is a good one. So it's that simple, guys. So let's go ahead and go back to the studio and wrap up this video. So what did you think? Pretty easy, huh? And I think another part of this technique that makes it super cool is you're also getting higher resolution images, because you're stitching multiple images together and you're kind of increasing that resolution as you look at your panorama. Now, if you're using a high resolution camera like myself here with the Q343 at 61 megapixels, you're gonna get some beefy files, but they are worth it. So hopefully you found this quick tutorial easy and helpful, and you go out and try it yourself. Like I mentioned, it works with film and digital, and there is no camera limitation. So go out, try it yourself, and see what kind of results you get. As always, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.